Hello, aloha everyone. My name is Mary Ann Rose, and I will be presenting one of the four social theories called biopower. Aloha, Dr. Mary. Nice to meet you. Biopower. It is a term coined by Michel Foucault to model the way political governance increasingly exerted its effects via the control of bodies and populations. Social statistics in Europe grew out of the state's efforts to enumerate populations for purposes of social control, albeit that effort also had health-relevant consequences. Other examples include the way that during the era of radical collectivization under Maoist policies in China in the 1960s and 1970s, the population control policy led to local cadres requiring village women in their reproductive years to post the dates of their menstrual cycles on the doors of their homes as a means of surveillance and birth control. Working with this theory, Adriana Petrina introduced the term biological citizenship to make sense of the post-Chernobyl disaster situation in the Ukraine. Although radiation scientists certified only a few hundred victims of radiation exposure, a much greater number of people claimed disability from the accident and in the process, a new identity. Citizens biologically defined by this trauma as deserving of compensation from a caring state that exerts the power of governance via the welfare rolls. In his powerful ethnography of failed development projects in the 1970s and 1980s in Lesotho, one of the world's poorest countries, James Ferguson showed that the government used biopower to deal with international agencies like the World Bank by prioritizing road building, funded ostensibly to improve transportation to clinics, whereas the government's deep motive was being able to move the army from one part of the country to another for political purposes. The UN system and its agencies, as well as individual nation-states, frequently govern via biopower so that global health programs can come to serve ulterior purposes. In post-conflict states like Liberia and Sierra Leone, governance is dominated by the UN system, agencies, and non-governmental organizations, or NGOs, that exert political and social control via programs focused on the management and rehabilitation of trauma. Biopower becomes an increasingly important issue as global health programs are scaled up by nation-states. And I got this article from one of the readings by Kleinman, year 2010. And the following are terms that I got outside the readings. In the context of Michel Foucault's theory of biopower, discipline refers to a specific form of power that focuses on directly controlling individual bodies through surveillance and training. Punishment. In the context of biopower as described by Michel Foucault, punishment refers to a form of control that operates not just on individuals through direct punishment, but on entire populations by managing factors like health, birth rates, and social behaviors. Coercion. In the context of biopower, a concept by Michel Foucault, coercion refers to the use of threats, force, or manipulation to control a population's behavior, often by influencing their bodies and health, essentially forcing them to comply with certain norms or regulations rather than relying solely on voluntary consent. And that's one of the theories of global health called biopower. And since my time is short, I can answer one question. I'm sorry. Who is deciding the line between appropriate punishment and coercion? And the answer is government, the government. And that's all. Thank you everyone for listening, and thank you, Dr. Mary. Bye.